Hello and welcome to today's video. My name is Gergana Radovich. I'm holistic health coach, sleep expert, EFT trainer and master T-Tapp trainer. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about why you don't need to starve yourself in order to feel good and to look good. And please stay with me by the end, till the end of the video, because I'll show you a short tapping practice or EFT practice that you can enjoy daily, and it will help you achieve your goals. So let's start from the belief that you need to starve yourself in order to lose weight and keep it off. If you have this belief, I understand you. If you believe actually that you have to starve yourself in order to look good, I feel for you. I've been there, I've done that, and I know it doesn't work. And that's why I'm creating this video today. Hopefully it will help you understand what to do instead of starving yourself and fighting with your own body. Many people believe that they need to eat small quantities of food in order to look good and feel good. Do you have friends that say, I don't need dessert, I'm not going to have lunch, or I'm skipping dinner because they need to lose some weight? I'm sure you do, and maybe even you're even one of them. So say hi, please say hi in the comments. Tell me where you are watching this video from, and it's so nice to see you here. I'm in Sofia, currently in Sofia, Bulgaria. It's a lovely day outside, and I'm so glad to see you here today. So one of the most common beliefs when it comes to body image, body weight, is that food and weight are related. And in a way, they are, of course they are, but we give the food so much power and so much, and we think about it so much that it ruins our lives. To the point that it ruins our lives. And it's really important to watch what we eat, but it's not the point. It's not the whole point. And in today's videos, I hope to show you that. So why it's not true that you need to eat less in order to look good or to lose some weight? Because when you eat less, you actually, if you focus on the quantity and forget about the quality of the food, you are not necessarily doing the right thing for your body. If you missed my previous video about the difference between the physical hunger and the emotional hunger, please go and watch it later on, because there you understand that the physical body needs certain foods. Of course it does. And if we want to take care of ourselves, we need to give those foods to our body in the first place. But it's not the whole story. And then it really does matter how often you eat, or how fast you eat, or when you eat, and of course what you do between your meals. And the human body, our body, is a wonderful machine. I believe that with my whole heart, and I know it's true. And I know that if we live our life with intention to nurture and heal our bodies instead of punishing them, we are going to have a lovely, lovely life in front of us. And that's why that's what this whole video is about. And then again, do you have friends that starve themselves almost to death, only to realize later that when they stop doing that, they complain from body pains, from chronic pain somewhere in the body, or they have disturbed metabolism, or they're having stomach aches. And this is normal, because when we try to limit certain foods, good foods, I'm talking about good foods here, carbs, quality proteins, quality fats, we are trying to warn our bodies to live with less, and we restrict some very important micro and micro elements that they might need at the moment. So starving, it's not the thing that you need to really, it's not the thing that you can do in order to lose weight and keep it off. And I remember years ago, probably almost 20 years ago, I met a woman, and it was, the whole story happened before I even started working in health and in nutrition fields. But I was in the college back then, and I met someone somewhere. And she told me she was a good looking woman. I mean, she was rather skinny, rather thin, and she didn't look happy at all. And she told me, we were having this conversation, and she told me, well, I don't like how I look. And probably back then she was in her 30s or early 40s. I was in my early 20s, so it looked like a lot of age difference between us. But I remember her that she looked rather older for her age. Now I understand why, but back then it puzzled me. And she told me, we were having this conversation, and she told me, I don't look good right now. I remember, say, 5 years ago, when I looked really terrific, and I'd lost all this weight. And again, she was a fine-looking thin woman, thin by any standards. And I asked her, what did you do? And she said, I did 40 days with only 1 apple a day. And then I looked great. And then after those 40 days, I couldn't keep on doing that. And my first thought even then was, wow, 40 days with 1 apple a day. And it's starving in its purest form. And it's normal that she couldn't keep. Well, now I understand that she had many other problems, and probably anorexia was one of them, and even probably bulimia. And I'm not talking about these eating disorders right now, but I'm giving you here an extreme example to show you that there are people who are going to great lengths in order to change how they look, and it doesn't make them happy, it doesn't make them feel good, and most probably they have this whole cycle, and at the end they have a lot of negative emotions toward themselves, toward their bodies, like guilt, resentment, shame, anger, whatever comes to mind, it might be there. And that's the whole point. what I've seen with my clients and with even with myself years ago, because I've been trying different diets. Of course, I don't know a woman who hasn't actually, but I've tried different diets, and I know firsthand that when you're trying to limit your food, your body fights back with all its power. And because your body's first priority is to physically survive, your mind actually are going to lose the battle. And there comes a point when you start eating really large quantities of food because your body needs the food to survive. And I would ask you, wouldn't it be better if you try to be smart about how you manage your whole appearance, your weight even, without having to fight with your body, without having to hate your body, and without going great lengths with starving yourself in order to lose a few kilos or pounds and keep it off? And I would like to tell you that there is a way. Of course, there is a way, and today I'm going to share a few things about this way. One of the first things that comes to mind, and that we need actually, one of the first things that we need to know when we are talking about body image, about food, about even metabolism, is that there are different factors, but I'm going to list them here shortly, and in later videos we can develop them, go further into them. But there are a few important factors that everybody should have in mind. First one of these factors is that your body, you need a certain quality of kilocalories or energy in your daily, actually, for order to your body to physically survive. The energy you need, the kilocalories you need, depends on how old you are, if you are a man or a woman, what is your job, what you do on a daily basis, if you are pregnant or nursing, if you have some chronic condition or something else. But approximately, it's said that women need basic calories to physically survive. Women need around 1,300 or 1,400 kilocalories a day. And for men, it's about 1,700 or 1,700 or 1,800. And those are very basic guidelines. And those are the things we need to physically survive. And then to thrive, actually, we need more than those calories. For women, we need around 2,000 or 2,200, something like that. And if we have very energetic physical work or even mental workload, we need more. And for men, it's more like 2,400, 2,600. Again, very basic guidelines. Well, it again depends on what those calories come from as well. I'm talking calories, well, every single calorie counts, but if you're eating chips all day long, or French fries, or even bread, you're not going to give your body the nutrients, micro and micronutrients that it needs. So you're putting on empty calories, actually. You're putting weight on without your body being able to feed its cells and feed itself, actually. So this is one thing, the basic metabolic rate. And why I'm mentioning this is because when you say, well, for example, I'm going to go with 1,000 calories a day, I'm going to restrict my food intake, and I'm going to lose weight. Well, yes, but no. Because if the basic metabolic rate is about 1,300 calories for women, when you're starving yourself, actually when you're limiting the quantity of food energy that you're getting, the body goes into survival mode. And it says something like, well, I'm going to restrict every single thing that it's not vital for survival. And I'm going to hold on these extra, say, fat cells that I'm having here and there for dear life, because this crazy woman is going to stop eating completely and I'm going to die. And of course, it's more or less, or maybe the conversation is not like this, but more or less you get the sense. So when you restrict your food intake, the body restricts its energy spending. And it's a vicious cycle, because when you limit yourself or you're focusing only on calories and not the quality of the food, your energy starts to drop. There are aches appear here and there. You might have headache. It might influence your sleep. It rises your stress level, and so on. And here we come to the next important factor. When we talk about what we eat, how much we eat, how we look, and all the things related with body image, there are a lot of negative emotions around us, especially around that whole stuff, especially in women. Why? I don't know. But what I see is that somehow we are constantly reminding ourselves, or others are reminding us, that we are not good enough. We are not tall enough, short enough, thin enough, fat enough, bright enough, flawless enough, and so on. Or maybe most of the women that I know for sure, and I can say, I can predict that it's true for others as well, most of the women don't like the way they look for some reason. And if they had a chance, they would change that. And of course, when you don't like yourself, it creates even more stress for you, and it makes it even harder to enjoy your life, and to some extent to lose the weight, and to some extent to pay attention to the food that you are eating, and to some extent to the weight that you like to lose. And there is another thing. It's not just I hate how I look, and that's why I'm going to lose weight. And let me tell you, if you're trying to take care of your body while you are hating it, it's not gonna work. You can't help somebody you don't like, or you hate. And think about this for a second. If there is a person in your life that you really don't like, really, for some reason, doesn't matter, and think about this person and ask yourself, if this person needs help, am I going to help wholeheartedly? And if I do so, would that make me feel good, feel bad, or I'll hate every single moment of it? And think about what comes to your mind. Feel what you feel and pay attention to those emotions. And now take this example to the different situation. Actually, the situation is the same, but the participants are different. So the participants are you, by you I mean your mind and your body. And then the situation is the same. If you're hating your body for the way it looks, are you willing to really help it feel better, look better, get better? Or you are going to continue doing it with rage, with anger, with guilt, with lack of patience? And if you have this when you see this example, you understand why it's so hard to lose extra weight when you are focusing only on food and only of hating yourself. And let me tell you, a lot of women are trying to lose the extra weight, because they hate how they look. And it's not gonna work. It might work for a certain period of time, but it's not a valid long-term motivation. Because there comes a point, maybe after a stressful day, maybe after a divorce, maybe after losing someone you love, there comes a moment in your life when you say, I don't care anymore. I'm going to eat my body weight in popcorn or in ice cream or whatever. And that's why I'm making this whole video. I'm trying to show you that if you approach the getting better process with love instead of shame or guilt or anger, you might and you will get better. You will get into better shape, and for sure you will feel happier, you will look happier, and you will be happy in your life. And again, let me go back to stress. One more thing about stress that's important. Even if you don't realize it, stress might be a factor in your life. And it's important to understand what stress brings to the whole situation. When you are under stress, it might be due to different situations. I believe that right now most of us live under certain amount of additional stress because of the whole COVID thing. So when we are under stress, our bodies produce different hormones, and the major stress hormone actually is cortisol. And cortisol, like all other hormones in the body, interact with other different hormones. And one important thing to note, to remember here, is that this balanced production of cortisol, or extra production of cortisol, really messes up with production and pattern of insulin and leptin and ghrelin, the hormones that regulate hunger and the state of fullness. And again, if your body is producing more cortisol, it's messing up with the insulin and blood sugar levels, and it's messing up with the regulation of whether you've had enough food or you're still hungry. And pay attention to your own situation and ask yourself, are there periods or situation in your days when you seem that you can't get enough food, that you can eat non-stop, and it doesn't really matter what you eat, you are never satisfied enough? Well, that most probably is related to stress and is related to the production of cortisol. So that comes to say that if you don't pay attention to regulation of stress levels and regulation of cortisol levels, you can starve yourself to that, and you are never going to lose the weight you would like to and keep it off. And of course, there are different situations. Everybody's different. There are different body structures. There are different conditions, chronic conditions, physical levels, etc., periods of lives, of course, etc. But if you look at yourself and if you have some extra weight, especially in the middle of your body, and you can pinpoint more or less when you started putting on this weight, and look at that situation, and you most probably find that you were and probably are under greater stress levels then and now. And this is your first, important marker that you need to pay attention if you want to feel better, to look better. You need to pay attention to your stress levels. And again, you need to pay attention. That's what we do with EFT or with tapping, and that's what I'm going to show in a while. But again, paying attention only to stress is not enough most of the time, because we are physical. We have physical body, and this physical body needs to move. So you might tap all day long, but if you don't move your body, if you don't feed it right, you're not going to get in your best shape. And pay attention, please. Your best shape is not my best shape or others' best shape. It's yours. And it comes from your physical structure, your body structure, and other things. But you can absolutely get into your best physical, emotional, spiritual shape when you're paying attention on three different things. How you eat, actually four. How you eat, how you exercise, how you sleep, and how you manage your stress. And then I'm going to say a few words about exercise here, and we are going to develop this in further videos, but it's important. Some people think that, well, okay, I'm paying attention of what I eat, but I'm exercising really seriously in order to keep the weight off, and take it off and keep it off. And sometimes it might work, sometimes it might not, because vigorous exercises can actually add more stress to your life. And again, we are different people with different stages of life, with different energy levels and so on. And there is no single exercise routine or workout that is suitable for all of us. And again, I love T-Tapp because it's easy to fit into your day. You may do 15, 10, 15, 30, or 60 minutes if you wish, and you're going to get results. For me, T-Tapp is, well, not only for me, but in general, T-Tapp is mind-body routine that connects the mind to the body and vice versa. And it's a really mindful form of movement, and it helps with stress, and it helps with physical imbalances as well, and hormonal imbalances. And that's why, as a T-Tapp trainer, that's why I teach all my clients do that. And I require them to do it on weekly, if not daily, on weekly basis. And the results are that they are happier, they look better, they are more tightened and toned, and they sleep better. So it's really important to pay attention on how if you want to look your best, you need to pay attention on how you move your body. And I don't think that you need to go to extremities to extreme situations in one of those directions, but with few manageable steps, you can get you can improve all of them in your life. And now let's go back to tapping, and I'd like to show you quick routine here that you might like to add to your days. And you can do it daily and feel better manage stress and feel better about yourself. But before we do that, I would like to ask you, think for a moment. I've shared different things with you, a lot of information actually today, and I would like to ask you, if you are not sure that you need to change, think about a second. If you continue in this way that you are doing now, maybe you are avoiding certain meals, maybe you're trying to not eat for longer periods of time, maybe you're trying to you're avoiding certain foods, maybe you are even starving yourself, and so on and so on. Where, if you continue in this way, where will you be in, say, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? And do you like the image that shows up? And if the answer is no, then here is what you need to do. I've shared with you what you need to do in order to change your future and become a happier, healthier, fitter version of yourself, of the self that you are right now. And now let's do some tapping, EFT tapping, in order to integrate all the information I shared with you, and in order to help you release stress and feel better about yourself and about your life. So let's start from the side of the hand. It doesn't really matter which hand, just tap at the side of the hand. Even though I'm under great stress right now, I try to love and accept myself. Even though I don't like the situation I'm in right now, I'd love to be a better friend with myself. Even though I don't like how I look right now, I believe I can change that. Top of the head. I don't like how I look right now. Eyebrow. I don't feel good. Side of the eye. I don't look good. Under the eye. It makes me feel bad. Under the nose, and I don't like it. On the chin. It brings me a lot of stress. Under the collarbone, and it makes my life miserable. Under the arm, I don't like how I look like. Thumb, it makes me feel bad. Pointer, I'm under a lot of stress right now. External and internal. I don't like how I look. When I look in the mirror, I'm terrified. Pinky, I hate what I see. Top of the head, and it makes me feel really bad. Eyebrow, and I hate myself. Side of the eye and my body. Under the eye, and I feel hopeless. Under the nose, to change that. On the chin, and I can't do anything to change that. Collarbone. But maybe it's not true. Under the arm. Maybe there's something I can do. Thumb. Maybe there is something I can change in my attitude, in my actions, in my beliefs, that can help me look at the situation from a new angle. Maybe there is a way. Maybe I can do that. Pinky, I wish to find a way. And now stop tapping. inhale, exhale. Again, inhale, exhale. And pay attention on how you feel. If you feel relaxed, that's a good sign. And you can think what you can look at your program now, what your day, and go on with it. But if you feel more tense or more stressed or more nervous, you can continue tapping through the points, and you can go back from the beginning of this tapping sequence and repeat it with me again. And again, it's just a general tapping sequence that might help you right now, but if you need help to get specific around what bothers you, if you need help to not lose to find your motivation and keep it with you while you're walking toward your weight goal or life goal, you can contact me and we can work together on creating your plan for your bright future. And you can find me as Gergana Radovich and write a comment or contact me where you are watching this video. Again, I'm Gergana Radovich. It was my pleasure to be with you today. Have a wonderful day.